vibration. Show the world what you got to give. Time to
Okay, welcome everyone. July 10th, 2020. The year is more than half gone, and here we are every Friday meeting at 11 a.m. for raising our vibration, getting some inspirational music and speakers. And we've had some phenomenal guests over the past 3 months, and look forward to our guest today, Jeff Fagin. Welcome, Jeff. And Luke and Claire are back on to play some music for us. So welcome, Luke and Claire. Again, as I said, we do this every week at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. All the replays and everything, I put on the chat there, the website. You can go to check that out. So it's raiseyourvibrationevent.com. We've got some cool swag in there too. If you want some shirts, some cool little coffee mugs that say Raise Your Vibration. And also if you want to donate to the cause, because this is all done out of everyone's heart, to volunteer, giving free of their time. So you can please donate to the cause, as well as see all the presenters from the past. All their emails and websites and everything are on the website under presenters, so check that out. And as always, we start this out with music. So Luke and Claire, please.
We weren't, please mute yourself. It makes the sound better when we're playing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And we weren't going to do this song today, but Howard requested it. It's the theme song of Raise Your Vibration. So here we go.
Here we go.
Don't be confused. Don't be ashamed. We are all here practicing the creation game. Chart out your course, get happy in between. Happy for no reason is the key to everything. You wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to be. You wouldn't be here if you didn't belong. You got something no one else on earth has got. So keep dancing, we're here to sing along. Time to raise your vibration. Show the world what you got to give. Raise your vibration. You can choose the life you want to live. Open your heart, open that door. We're here to make a difference no one's ever made before. No limitation, don't believe in lack. We're all in this together and we're not turning back. You wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to be. You wouldn't be here if you didn't belong. You got something no one else on earth has got. So keep dancing, we're here to sing along. We're gonna raise your vibration. Show the world what you got to give. Raise your vibration. You can choose the life you want to live. You can choose. Don't push the river, it flows on its own. Just decide, get on the ride. You bought your ticket home. Go beyond the speed of light, claim your destiny. Fuel it up with love and fly in perfect harmony. You wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to be. You wouldn't be here if you didn't belong. You got something no one one else on earth has got. So keep dancing, we're here to sing along. We're gonna raise your vibration, show the world what you got to give. Raise your vibration. You can choose the life you want to live. You can choose. Raise your vibration. Show the world what you got to give. Raise your vibration. You can choose the life you want to live. You can choose.
You go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Amazing and catchy and awesome. And thank you both for writing that song for me, for us. It's always
You're
great to
great.
hear. So thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Look forward to more coming up here later. So we'll see you in a little bit. Jeff, if you want to unmute yourself. All right. Well, our guest speaker today, boy, I've known for what, 15, almost 20 years. And
More than that, Howard.
Has it been a long time?
Yeah.
Good family friends. Jeff and I actually met at the Millionaire Mind Intensive in Los Angeles years ago, and I was there with my dad. And he knows T. Harv Eker. He went to high school with T. Harv Eker, who wrote the book Millionaire Mind Intensive. It just so happens to be that Jeff ended up becoming the chief financial officer of Peak Potentials and bringing Peak Potentials and T. Harv Eker's company worldwide. He is amazing. There's too many things that you've done for me to talk about, Jeff. So just please jump out here and give us your story and share your knowledge, please.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me, Howard. I'm honored that you would invite me to be on this particular program with you, and so thank you so much for that. And yeah, you know what? My wife and I have been friends with your mom and your late dad, bless his soul, for probably over 20 years. I remember you when long before you even got married, for crying out loud, when you were just a kid, really. So we've gone back a long way. And yes, for all of you guys, as you mentioned, Howard, I was actually not only the chief financial officer, but the chief operating officer for a company called Peak Potentials Training, which was a business and personal success training seminar company that was founded by a good friend of mine. His name is Harv Eker, and Harv wrote the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And interesting thing about Harv, as Howard will attest to, is if you know his story, as he was growing up, he was a very cocky, confident entrepreneur that went through some really tough times, because entrepreneurship sometimes isn't quite as easy as everybody thinks it's going to be. And he went through the, I want to make as much money as possible, to, you know what, chasing all this money is a waste of time. It doesn't work anyways. I'm going to go the spiritual route instead. And so he went from one extreme where he was totally running into money to one where he was just getting into Zen and living a spiritual life. And he realized that it's great to live a spiritual life, but money does play a role in life. And so he decided to blend. And the key word is to blend his entrepreneurial mindset with his Zen spiritual mindset. And what he came up with was a very unique way of creating success. And in 2003, I happened to be in Los Angeles, and Howard was there, and Larry was there as well. And I hadn't seen Harv in over 20 years. And Harv was really starting to gain some momentum. I think that the time we were there, Howard, there were about 1,200 people in Los Angeles to see this particular event. And half the people at the event were from the Agape Church. So very, very kind of spiritual community. Everybody was singing a lot of spiritual songs and all the breaks and everything. It was a lot of fun. And afterwards, Harv and I decided that it was, with him growing, that it might be a great opportunity for me to step in and be his chief operating officer and build the company. What I'm going to talk to you guys about today was a major breakthrough in my life. I was 49 by the time I got involved. We're both the same age. We were both 49. And what I'm going to teach you guys about today was really a major breakthrough for me. And Harv asked me if I would come on board and be his operating officer. And I said yes. And he said, well, the first thing you need to do is you need to go through warrior training. And I was 49 and I didn't really believe I needed to go through any of this kind of training. But once I did, and I realized the power of what this training was all about, it was truly raising the vibration of my thinking, which is why I think it's so apropos that it comes with the Raise the Vibration event. From a very base level of vibrational thinking to a very high level of vibrational thinking, if that makes sense to all of you guys, and I hope it does. So what we're going to be talking about is really, I'm only going to kind of give you like the introduction to a 7-week program that I actually teach, and I'm going to offer to all of you guys. I normally do it for $1,000, but I'm going to offer it to anybody that would like to join us. And I know Howard, hopefully you're going to join us, and hopefully all of you guys will join me. And it's 7 weeks called the No Limits Unstoppable Warrior Program. Because at the end of the day, my mission is really to help as many people as possible reach their full potential. The reason that most people never truly reach their full potential is because of one big word, and that one word is fear. Fear stops virtually all of us from truly breaking out and being the incredible person that we were meant to be. And that fear is in all of us. There's no getting around it, right? So what I want to do is just kind of share a couple of ideas today. And it's just, and you will find that hopefully you'll have an aha moment or two. I hope you do. And in this 7-module program over 7 weeks, each module lasts about an hour. We do it on Facebook Live, and I guarantee you, you will have aha moment after aha moment after aha moment. And the more you listen to it and the more you repeat listening to it, the deeper you'll get it at the cellular level so that you can really, truly reach your full potential. So the definition that we use for a warrior, because the goal is to become a no limits, unstoppable warrior. And the definition of a warrior, and you might want to write this down, is one who conquers oneself. One who conquers oneself. Now, how is it possible for us to be able to conquer ourselves? For that to happen, what that must mean is that there's 2 selves. And in fact, the answer is we do have 2 selves. When we're born into this world, we have what's called our true self. And all of us, every single one of us that are here right now, when we were born into this world, what was our potential? Our potential truly was unlimited, right? And so that's our true self. There's no limits to what we could choose to do, to become, to achieve. Really, the sky was the limit for all of us. Isn't that true? But what happens from the day we're born is we learn how to survive in this world. And the key word that I said there is survive. I didn't say thrive, I said survive. And that becomes what's called our personality or our false self. And so the warrior is when the true self, that unlimited potential part of you, conquers your false self. Now, the question I have for most of you is, throughout most of your day, are you living in your true self or are you living in your false self? And I will tell you that for 99.9% of all the people that I meet, they don't even realize that they do have a true self. And so they exist their entire life in their false self. And so one of the keys is, as a warrior, we learn to shift from living in our false self, which is based on survival, to our true self, which is based with connecting to the highest vibrations and the highest powers in the universe. I hope this makes sense to all you guys. So here's the deal. Here's how it works. Imagine when we all come into this world, we're like a cup, right? We're an empty cup. That's all we are. We're an empty cup. We come into this world, and then slowly but surely, actually very quickly, information starts to fill up this cup, right? I'm sure you guys can all relate to that. And our cup starts to get filled up with all kinds of information. You should do this, and you should do this, and you should do this, and you're going to learn this, and don't do this, and look out for that, and that's dangerous. True, right? And one of the first ways that we learn is from our own personal experiences. And this begins practically the moment that we're born into this world. And here's what I'm talking about, guys, is that we're a baby, right? We're hours old, and we're laying there, and we're uncomfortable, and we're hungry, or we're dirty, or we need to be changed. And we're laying there, and we don't have to tell people, hey, I'm hungry. So what do? Maybe we whimper a little bit. Nothing happens, right? Maybe we whimper a little bit louder. Nothing happens. And then we scream at the top of our lungs. And what happens? We get attention, right? We get people coming to us, people picking us up, people hugging us, people feeding us, people taking care of us. Is that true? And as babies, here's what's going on in our minds. Our minds say, wow, every time I scream and yell, I get all this amazing attention. People come running to me, they come hugging me, they come feeding me, they come bathing me. I need to document that and write that down in my operations manual of life, so in the future I can refer to it again whenever I need attention. And this becomes our ways of being. And this begins from day one. And how many of you guys know people that are 40 years older and 5 feet taller, and they're still using the same strategy to get attention? Unfortunately, I know a lot of people that, all they do is yell and scream and complain and bitch and whatever and cry. Why? To get attention, right? Isn't that true? And here's the thing, guys, by the time we're 3 years old, 80% of our personality has already been created. 80%. So, here's the thing that we need to understand is that our mind, what's going on inside our mind, primarily has been programmed. Number one, all of our thinking is based on how to survive, not how to thrive. So that little voice you're thinking about or listening to all day long, it is programmed to make sure that you survive in this world. It's not programmed for you to be successful, because very few people are happy and successful. So you need to understand that. Number one, we are not programmed to be happy and successful people. We are programmed to survive. Number two is most of our personality and our attitudes and our beliefs were formed by the time we were 3, which means they're based on the assumptions of a very small child. Now, in addition to all of that, guys, we are programmed and conditioned by our parents and our teachers. And it's like they take all of their attitudes and all of their beliefs and all of their prejudices, and they take them out of their brain, and guess what they do? They dump them into your brain. So now, guess what's happening to your cup? It's getting filled with everybody else's beliefs and attitudes. And you know what? When we're young, we have no way to differentiate between what's BS and what's true. True. So what happens is all this information becomes recorded, and it becomes a tape that plays in your head all day long, every single day. And you know that little tape has the little voice inside your head. And so what we need to learn how to do is understand that when we're listening to that little voice inside our head, are we really listening to our true self? Or are we listening to the programming and the conditioning and the attitudes and the beliefs of everybody who domesticated us, or the incidences we had as a child that determined our personality? And so the secret, my friends, is to separate yourself from that little voice and understand that you are not that little voice. You're not. You're much greater than that little voice. And that little voice, I call my little voice Brutus. And I would suggest that every single one of you guys come up with a name for your little voice. Understand something, guys. It is not programmed for you to be a happy person. Look, I have very limited time here today, but I want for you guys to understand one more thing, is that at the base of our spine, right at the base of our brain, is something called the medulla. And the medulla is also known as the older brain. It's called the reptilian brain. And all of us have a reptilian brain. And all the information that you receive through your five senses goes through the reptilian brain before it gets disseminated into the other parts of your brain. And do you know what the reptilian brain cares about? Survival. So it's based in the word fear. So when you're listening to that little voice, you're listening to a little voice that's based in fear, which is why you need to learn how to live in your true self. There's two ways to do that, and then I'll turn it back to you, Howard, because I don't want to run over my time. So there's two ways you can do that. Number one is you can start thinking new thoughts and put new recordings on top of the old recordings. Does that make sense? So over time, instead of hearing all kinds of disempowering and negative thoughts running through your head, you can replace them with a new recording that's much more powerful. You can do that. The fastest way is to do what Howard does. Meditate. Calm that little voice inside your head so you can tap into your true self. Because your true self knows all the right answers. It knows what's right for you. It knows what you can do. It knows what your capabilities are. And it is your highest power. And most people never tap into their true self. And when you tap into your true self, you will begin to understand what an amazingly powerful person you are. And once you go through this transformation so that you are unstoppable, do you know what choices you have available to you in your life when you're an unstoppable person? You have every choice. You have like the Midas touch, because whatever you say, you manifest, because you've learned exactly how to master your mind and live in your true self, so that regardless what that little voice is saying, you learn how to act in spite of it. You learn how to turn off that little voice and always come from your truer, highest self. Now, I have a program. It's going to be starting on Monday, and it goes 7 weeks. This is a binder. It's literally a book that we go through over 7 weeks. It's unbelievable how much material we cover. And again, I've been doing this now for a number of years. It's a transformational program, and I'm happy to invite all of you guys, if you're at all interested in doing it, to just let me know, and I'll invite you into the group. And with that being said, again, thank you guys so much for your time. Howard, thank you for inviting me. Namaste to all you guys, and back to you, Howard.
Thank you so much, Jeff. So if you want to put your info in the chat about your warrior, about 2% group, about the warrior event going on. And the warrior event is a free thing, right? On Monday, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so every Monday for the next 7 weeks for an hour, it's free for people to learn how to be a warrior and everything that you've learned. And believe me, Jeff is the master teacher. So I'm so excited to learn, and from what you've done, Jeff, in your life. I mean, you definitely have mastered it, and awesome. Looking forward to that. I'm going to open up the line for questions or comments for you, Jeff. So if anyone out there wants to talk or ask a question, please unmute yourself. We'll take about 5 or 10 minutes of questions. Anyone? Hi, Hey, Debbie.
Jeff, thank you very much. I really enjoyed that overview. And what time are your Monday calls?
Well, first of all, thank you, Debbie, and it'd be great to have you. I think you'd really get a lot from it. What we do is we start at 7:55 p.m. PST, They're done as Facebook Live, so they're recorded. I have a lot of people that sign up from the East Coast, so they'll watch it probably the following morning. So it's really a lot of fun if you join us live, Debbie, because I believe in accelerated learning techniques. Raise your hands, repeat after me, type comments in, because I think the more involved you are in the learning process, A, it's a lot more fun. B, you learn it faster, and C, you remember more of what you learn. So I'm really into people really getting a lot of information and really absorbing it as quickly as possible. So if you can do it live, you'll see everybody's typing in their comments, and usually by the time it's done, we have like a couple of hundred comments in the comment section, and it's not for the non-participatory type of person, Debbie.
Right.
It's really to get you involved, and it's a lot of fun, and I really hope all of you will join me, because at the end of the day, I will say this, and I say this with all sincerity. When I was working with Harv, not only did I take, it was almost like a 5-day summer camp retreat. So this is kind of like more of a condensed class version of what we did out in the summer camp retreat. But essentially, all of my 100+ employees went through this training. And when you start working with warriors, people that have this mindset, people that live in their integrity, people whose word is their bond, that you can count on them. If they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. People that don't let distractions and outside things interfere with what they know they need to get done, and they just have a certain mindset. Once you start working with those kinds of people, Debbie, those are the only kinds of people you'll ever want to work with, because 98% of all the people out there are flakes.
Yeah, well, what I work with and what I teach dovetails so beautifully with what you have shared with us today. I'd love to have some additional conversation, but it's very supportive of one another and dovetails, and it's good. So I'd love to continue. I won't be able to come every single Monday because I have coaching calls every other, but can maybe pop in a couple of times and just participate that way if that works.
Well, absolutely. Well, you know what? The way I run these programs, just to let everybody know, is that there are work papers that I put up on the site that you download a couple of days beforehand, and there are blanks. And as I'm doing the training, you fill in the blanks, and then eventually, by the time you're done, you have a book. Right? So if you only come like some of the times, it's like you'll have chapter 2, chapter 4, chapter 6. What I would suggest is if you can't come to the lives, everything is recorded. You can go watch it anytime you want to. It's right there at the site.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Debbie. All right. Anyone else out there? Questions, comments?
Hey, thanks a lot, Jeff.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. First, your music was so great. I was tapping my feet, and I didn't want you to stop.
Oh, good. That's our whole goal. Make you dance.
Yeah, and Jeff, you know, I think the work that you've done to support and create with T. Harv Eker, and that you know Bernie Dorman and some of these people that have devoted their lives to helping people change and improve and be who they want to be in the world. You know, it's the work that is needed. So I really appreciate that, and the fact that you're offering your work for free is just, what is that, stellar. It's so generous. It's really, really beneficial right now. I think during these times, anything that we can offer to help people uplift and get out of the fear it seems like it's being spread, you know, almost intentionally. And I like the idea of people doing the opposite, spreading love and joy and intention of light and the difference that we can make. So I really want to thank you.
Well, thank you for that, Claire. And you know, Howard mentioned that you know, you've had Sharon lecture in the past, right, Howard?
On the show, no, not Sharon.
Oh, not yet. Okay, but I will tell you that, you know, a lot of the real thought leaders right now, because of what's going on with the pandemic, I mean, at this point, there's a major shift going on, and I think for many, many people, they realize that life is not going to go back to the way it was. And so if there was ever a time when people really needed to have a strong mental mindset to power through these challenging times, personal development is not really for when times are great. You don't need to have, a lot of personal development when everything is going great in your life and everything is positive. Personal development is really to power you through the challenging times. And to me, I think for many people, this is maybe the most challenging experience they've ever had because of all the uncertainty. I mean, we have no idea what the new world's going to look like. So being able to take complete control of our minds and have enough self-confidence and assurance that regardless what's going on in the outer world, we can still control what's going on in the inner world. That, the thought leaders, I think, and I don't even consider myself a thought leader by any stretch of the imagination, but those of us that feel that we can help empower people to use their own minds for their own benefits, I think it's our dharma. I think it's our duty to do it. And right now, if people are struggling, and you know what, I'm having enough success in my other businesses that I'm happy to help as many people as possible by offering it for free. So I really do hope as many people as possible do take me up on it.
For sure, Jeff. I've been saying to people for the past few months, right now is the time that I've been trained for the past 25 years, training the mind for what's going on in the world right now. Us who are positive thinkers and motivational and are spreading the light need to continue spreading the light and help those, raise those up who aren't. So another reason I had Raise Your Vibration, bring that out there, inspire, motivate, keep the vibe high so we all can prosper and move forward. So thanks for what you're doing, Jeff. Appreciate it. Look forward to Monday night. Look forward to your 2% group, which anyone here in Phoenix, if you haven't been to Jeff's 2% group yet, definitely check that out. They've got meetings. You were having meetings once a month, Jeff, is it? Or online now?
Unfortunately, with the pandemic, we were doing it every single week. Now we're doing it intermittently.
Okay, cool. If you want to put all your information in the chat there, Jeff, before we get off here so people can get on there, that would be great. And then you're going to come back at the end here and do some little affirmations for us, right? Cool.
Sure will.
All right, look forward to it. And now we're bringing out Luke and Claire again. So come on out, you two. Unmute yourself. You're muted. There you are. All right.
All right. This is a song, Howard, that you even haven't heard before. It's called Flow Your Passion. If you keep on doing what you're doing, nothing will ever change. I'm getting bored and frustrated. I wanna break out of this rain. Are you coming? Are you going? Are you busting loose with me? I need a taste of a brand new life, but only passion sets us free. Well, it's you, more of you is what I'm yearning for. So flow your passion out of control, break through that locked up door. You, more of you is what I'm hungry for. So flow your passion out of control, that's what we're living for. So what do you want? What you gonna do? You're gonna do anything at all. Now that your doors are opening, it's up to you where the chips will fall. Are you coming? Are you going? Are you busting loose with me? We learned the lies 1,000 times, but only passion sets us free. Well, it's you, more of you is what I'm yearning for. So flow your passion out of control, break through locked up door. You, more of you, is what I'm hungry for. So blow your passion out of control. That's what we're living for. I wanna see you and know who you really are. So don't you worry, don't be afraid. With me you can't go too far. Tell me, what do you need? What can I do? Yeah, you have me all the way. I'm giving all of myself to you, every moment, every day. Are you coming? Are you going? Are you busting loose with me? We've heard the truth 1,000 times, but only passion sets us free. Well, it's you, more of you, is what I'm yearning for. So blow your passion out of control. Walk through that open door. You, more of you, is what I'm hungry for. So blow your passion out of control. That's what we're living for. Come on and blow your passion out of control. That's what we're living for.
There you have it. And thank you for cheering. We couldn't see you clapping. Thank you.
We can't hear it, but we can see it.
That's fine. So, and we actually have 2 more for you today. We're looking at the clock and wondering if that's okay, Howard. You want 1 or 2? 1 more. 2?
Right now?
Yeah? Good. All right.
Well, for you or the other one?
Let's do, Let's Give to People.
All right. This one requires the guitar to be really in tune. Let's give to people, make it easy on each other, and the world will keep on turning on its own. Let's have it now, we're not alone, and together is the way that we'll go on. We'll go on and on. Be here for every person, knowing we're here for certain. Everybody is the answer. Everybody holds the key for you and me. Oh, let's give to people, make it easy on each other, and the world will keep on turning on its own. Let's have it now, we're not alone, and together is the way that we'll go on. We'll go on and on. Cherish our life together, knowing we're here forever. Now's the time to make it happen. Now's the time to really care. If you dare, oh, let's give to people, make it easy on each other, and the world will keep on turning on its own. Let's have it now, we're not alone, and together is the way that we'll go on. We'll go on and on, on and on, on and on and on and on, on and on and on and on, on and on and on. people, make it easy on each other, and the world will keep on turning on its own. Let's have it now. We're not alone. And together is the way that we'll go on. We'll go on and on. On and on and on and on. On and on and on and on. On and on and on. Let's give to people. On and on and on. It's everybody. On and on and on. It's you and me. On and on and on and on. On and on and on and on. On and on and on and on. On and on and on and on and on.
Awesome, you two. Thank you. I'm thinking maybe we could do the affirmations first and then have you two end with the song. Is that cool?
Sounds great. Love
Okay,
it.
we'll be here.
All right. We'll see you in a bit. So, Jeff, you want to jump out here and do those?
Yeah, sure. Are you going to let me share my screen?
Please.
Okay,
Oh,
because I'm trying to share my screen. It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Uh-oh. Hold on a second. So I think that should work.
Okay, there we go.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay, good job. All right, so here we go. Here, I'm going to actually just shrink this down to where hopefully most of, okay, attitudes of a warrior. So I'm a big believer in declarations. For those of you that have ever worked with me or know me or been involved in any of the kind of coaching and training that I'm involved in, declarations to me, I believe, are a big part of developing a new mindset. And when we say these declarations and we say them out loud and we say them with meaning and we say them repeatedly, they become our mindset. And so what I want to share with you guys today is the attitudes of a warrior. This is part of the warrior program, the No Limits Unstoppable Warrior program. And at the end of the day, by the time we're done, these primarily are our declarations that we just repeat over and over and over again. And I'm just going to read them out loud once by my own. And then if you would, I would love it for all of you to actually put your hand on your heart and we'll say it all together as a group and you'll feel the power of declarations. So the first, it always begins with, I am a warrior. Let me hear you guys say that. Well, I can't hear you say it, you're muted, but say it out loud anyways. I am a warrior. Very good, I can see you mouthing it, good job. Okay, so I act in spite of fear. And when you can learn how to act in spite of fear, I promise you guys, your life will be changed. I'm a warrior. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. One of the modules is all about taking what's called unconditional action, which means that you don't find excuses, right? I'm a warrior. I do everything at 100%, which means that it's whatever you choose to do, you either do it at 0% or you do it at 100% or don't get involved. That becomes your mindset as a warrior. I'm a warrior. I am willing to do what's hard. Because when you're willing to do what's hard, eventually what's hard becomes easy. And the people that only want to do what's easy, for them, life is hard. So the whole idea is to learn how to be willing to almost embrace, like bring it on, right? Bring on the challenges. I'm willing to do it. Next, I act in spite of my moods, because this is like one of the #1 reasons why most people never go anywhere, because they're waiting to feel that they're in the right mood before they get started. And guess what? That mood never happens or rarely ever happens. I am bigger than any obstacles. Here's the thing, guys. Our obstacles in life are always going to be there. If we have a level 7 challenge and we're a level 4 person, that obstacle is too big for us to overcome. But if we can grow ourselves into a level 8 person, we can overcome that obstacle. If we grow into a level 10 person, that obstacle is just another thing we take off on our list. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm a warrior. I succeed in spite of anything. In other words, once you make up your mind you're going to do something, nothing in the world is going to stop you. And finally, I never, and the key word is never, give up. You may have to quit one strategy and start another strategy, but giving up is not part of our mindset. So let's all together put our hands on our hearts. And even though, you know what? Why don't you unmute yourself if you want to? Is that okay, Howard? Can they unmute themselves? So go ahead if you want to. Unmute yourselves, put your hand on your heart, and all together, on the count of 3, we're going to say our declarations here. 1, 2, 3. I am a warrior.
I'm a warrior.
I am a warrior.
I'm a warrior.
I am a warrior.
Do whatever it takes.
I do whatever it takes. I'm a warrior.
Everything at 100%.
I do everything at 100%.
I'm a warrior. I'm willing to do what's hard.
I'm a warrior. I'm willing to do what's hard.
I'm a warrior. I act in spite of my mood.
I'm a warrior. I act in spite of my mood.
I'm a warrior. I am bigger than any obstacle.
I'm a warrior. I'm bigger than any obstacle.
I'm a warrior. I succeed in spite of anything.
I'm a warrior. I succeed in spite of anything.
I'm a warrior. I never give up.
I'm a warrior. I never give up.
A ho on 3. 1, 2, and 3. A ho.
Oh,
All right. Great job, everybody. Thank you for your participation.
All right. If everyone wants to meet out, except for you, Jeff. Cool.
Okay, here. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, there you go.
All right. Great. So look forward to that. More of that on Monday. That'll be exciting. Jeff, you're still muted there if you want to unmute yourself.
Okay, there we go.
Cool. Yeah, that was awesome. So powerful, and just it's going to be exciting to be there on Monday. Thank you for sharing all your knowledge again, and look forward to working more with you and having you on here again in the future and doing more work with you. So thanks, Jeff.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Howard. I really, really appreciate it.
Great. All right. And anyone else want to jump out here and say anything to Jeff before he takes off? Any comments or anything? He put his, yeah.
Yes, stay and listen to the last song.
yeah. Well,
All
and
right.
you know what, Jeff, those are powerful, powerful affirmations.
Yes, I felt strengthened.
Yeah, I want to put them up on my wall, in my bathroom mirror and places, and just say them every day. So, thank you.
Outstanding.
Yay. That's so great.
Katie, were
Yeah.
you want?
Yes,
Hi.
Jeff, I so enjoy your disposition and your perspective and outlook. You know, that can-do attitude with such innocent joy that bubbles from you. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed the time with you.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate your comments.
Thanks, Katie. All right, Luke and Claire, bring us home.
All right.
This song is very special to me. We don't do it that often, but it's about really looking deep into a person, knowing who they really are.
Seems you ain't been smiling lately. Your eyes are red and moist. Your beauty's shining forth innately. But something's not been voiced. Fly into the wind and let it blow. There's a you, and you want everyone to know. Jump into the river, let it flow. Looking through the windows of your soul. La 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 la. La 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 la. Walking through a forest rainfall. The water's painful. What was lost was found.
What was lost was found.
Fly into the wind and let it blow. There's a you, and you want everyone to know. Jump into the river, let it flow. Looking through the windows of your soul. La 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 la. La 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 la. Release the love that's locked us inside. Allow it to run free. I haven't feared its danger since I've seen what we can be.
What can we be?
Fly into the wind and let it blow. There's a you, and you want everyone to know. Jump into the river, let it flow. Looking through the windows of your soul. La 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 la. La 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 la. Release the love locked up inside. Your beauty's shining forth, don't hide. Tears are flowing down. What was lost will soon be found. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Fabulous as always, you two. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Fun.
Yeah, please put your info in the chat also for how people can reach you and, you know, your website and all that good stuff. And anyone who knows any musicians, Claire is the director for musicians, so she'll put her email in there. You can contact her. Please, we're looking for more musicians, more speakers. Send them our way. You can go to the website again. It's raiseyourvibrationevent.com and check out Jeff's information there too, as well as Luke and Claire and all the other presenters, and all the replays will be on there. This replay should be up there in a few days, so check it out. And oh, next week we're having Kai Cox is going to be our speaker, and Kai actually does energy work, body work, and is a motivational speaker. She lives in Chicago. I've known her for a couple of years, and she's phenomenal. So looking forward to having her on here, as well as Jeff Monlock, who is plays the guitar and the harmonica, and he's very folksy. He's going to be our musician next week. So looking forward to having him on here. And that's it for the week. So have a great week. Make sure to keep your vibration raised high, and look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one. Bye, y'all.
Thank you, Howard. Great show. Thank you,
Good
Jeff.
show.
It was
Bye.
great.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Howard.
All right.
Thank you
Have a
all.
great one. We'll see you soon. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Raise your vibration. Show the